You'll never be good enough. Your art will never be so perfect, so good that it'll be free from some asshole making some annoying, stupid, ignorant comment trying to bring you down. And I mean this. This is just a video to help encourage you as you are putting your artwork out into the world. You're being willing to be brave enough to be seen, to be visible, to be open to judgments of others. All right. Here's the thing, and it's just the reality of the world. But I'm going to help you move through this and understand that this is not a big deal. Okay. It really doesn't matter if you are putting out the most incredible, astonishing piece of work and you came at it with this 100% pure heart. There will always just be someone out there who's going to leave a crappy comment, who's going to make a judgment about maybe you or the artwork itself, trying to bring you down. So if that's just the reality of things, do it anyway, because it says far more about the one criticizing than it does about you or the artwork itself. So welcome to the channel. My name is Jesse. This is Art in Void. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. If you don't, then the government will never release the truth about UFOs and UAPs. It'll stay locked up forever. So it's a direct parallel. Like if you subscribe to the channel, they will release the information. The truth is out there. And if you don't, that's the consequence. Anyway, getting to the main thing of this video. I've done a lot of things in my life, from music to films. I've won award for films, and even on the film that I did win awards for, I still got negative reviews for it. So it's interesting, right? And I would read those reviews with a lot of kind of curiosity, and it's really fascinating. In this day and age, there's far fewer, at least I'm finding it. Maybe it's just what I see in the world. I don't see a whole lot of film criticism, music criticism in the way that I grew up. It seems like we really relied on critics to inform us whether we should go see a movie or go see a band or get this album, whatever it was, or a book. I'm sure there very much exists today, but for me, my experience was very interesting because I would read these reviews and I'd just be like, it doesn't seem like you really understood it. And honestly, the anatomy of we'll call him a hater. I think a lot of times they'll like to think of themselves as a critic, but we're talking about really the vast majority of, if you're going to maybe just post something online, you're going to sell your products, you're going to do a performance. The vast majority of people are just everyday people. It's someone on social media, it's someone in your realm, and they're going to have some rude comment to say. They're going to have some judgment about it, and it really comes from a place of insecurity. It's often triggered by the fact that you're actually courageous enough to actually do something with your life and actually put something out into the world. So they find their only sense of empowerment by tearing other people down. And it's really pathetic. So just consider where it's coming from, because not all opinions are equal. We're all entitled to have them, but the value of each opinion often can be connected to the person that it's coming from. And that's not to denigrate a person, but it's about a level of consciousness and about a level of, I'd say, just maturity. They're not really offering loving, constructive criticism, which is valuable. We artists really can thrive off of that. People we trust. I think of even like George Lucas when he was showing Star Wars to Steven Spielberg and Coppola and some others. He was getting feedback on it and looking for, how can I make this better? That's far different from someone just saying something really rude here on YouTube, which I'm getting some of those comments. But the fact is, if you're getting those, it's evidence that you're actually doing something. And doing something is a lot harder than just talking about it, and way harder than just leaving putting out negativity in the world for people who are doing something. So it's like, okay, cool. You don't like my stuff? Why are you here? One. And number two, what are you doing? If you are this all-knowing being who has it all figured out, then why haven't you made something better? Why haven't you done something more with your time? And that's really oftentimes at the core of where these negative comments are coming from. And really also think about this. Think about maybe one of your heroes. Contrast that to someone who maybe you really love as a writer or a musician, whoever it is, you have a hero. Do you really think that when they're at their level of success or being prolific, do you think they're really spending their time looking around for people who are doing things and trying to crap on them? No, usually they're like, oh, cool. Keep going, brother. Keep growing. Keep putting it out. Let's see you succeed. Unless they are just deeply insecure people, which maybe they are. But for the most part, in my experience, anyone who I've deemed way further along than I am, they only have encouragement. And that's the way I kind of approach it too. I'm not going to spend time and energy trying to push someone down when I see them really just like in that stage of like, I want to share this. I want to make my art. I want to know how to find my lane. I want to connect to my audience. I want all these things. Like, my inclination is cool. That's beautiful. What a great and exciting thing for you. You have so much to look forward to. Let's maybe look at this in ways that can actually help you along that path. Contrast that to someone else who is leaving negative comments or saying stupid things. It's like, you're probably not talking to someone who you really admire or who really is going to be someone who you're aspiring to follow in their path. So just think about that. The last thing here is if you're making art, good art, it'll trigger people, plain and simple. Art, when it's at its best, can open consciousness to awaken things that were dormant. And the sad reality is so many people don't want that. They want to stay in the way that they are. They want to remain unconscious in many ways. And so great art can open up some stuff in people that they're not quite ready to always look at. And this is part of what it is to be an artist. To piss people off, to make them uncomfortable, to make them see the world in a way that they didn't know the world could be seen. And sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. So lean into that. Take that as a sign of initiation, so to speak, of welcome to being an artist. That's the magic of your power, that you might actually confront someone with someone, and it might not even be intentional, because art is so often open to interpretation. So sometimes we just create our beautiful work of art as well-intentioned and with all of our love that we can, and we put it out, and someone may completely interpret it in such a different way than you ever intended it to be, because they're viewing it through their life experience and their lens. And that's really this magic of what I believe the great art does. It's operating in this other realm, a spiritual realm that can speak a language to different people, different times, different spaces, and it will mean different things to different people. But it will also awaken these people. And it's really fascinating to me. It's a mystery in a lot of ways. I don't always fully understand how it works, but it's how it works. So if you're doing that, and if you're getting responses from people that are negative, it could just be because you are poking at something that's deeply unconscious. And it's a little bit uncomfortable for them to face. So what do? They just kind of revert back to judgment and disregarding, saying something rude. And just a little anecdote here, not only from my experience, but just from how I see this across the board many times. Is like a lot of times it's your own family that's probably just not going to get it. I'm pretty fortunate that my immediate family is really encouraging, but my extended family is all like, what? What are you doing? So, so my main point is criticism, especially harsh criticism, unhelpful comments, might actually be the sign that your artwork is working. It's actually doing what it's meant to do. So welcome it, embrace it, and take a step back from feeling that need that you need to make anyone or everybody happy. That's really not what this is about. Your art is first and foremost for you. It is, you are the audience, and where it goes from there is a magical place. You can let it go, being good enough because you are satisfied with the art, and be okay with that. You will grow as an artist throughout time. You know, my earlier songs were, earlier song, lots of things. My early photography, you know, it was a way rougher stage than what I do now. I feel like I've improved with time, but I would have never improved in time if I had not put out my crappier stuff earlier. So all that to say is to find some empowerment here. Let go of one needing to be good enough for anybody, because it will never, ever happen. Consider the source of where these criticisms are coming from. And then finally, embrace the reality that great art can really ignite the soul, the spirit, expand consciousness in a way that might make people uncomfortable. So that means you're on the right path. Keep going. Leave you with this quote. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life. There are doers, there are dreamers. I'm always encouraging all of us here to be doers. Dreaming is a wonderful place, but sometimes we get addicted to it when we see people who are doing it. And when you become a doer, those dreamers who are stuck in their dreamland, fantasizing about the art that they'll make, but never actually will, they're going to get triggered by you. But you're brave enough for this, and I'm excited for you to put your artwork out into the world. So if it means just give them a big middle finger, go for it. If it means laughing at them, go for it. But understand, ultimately, nothing will ever be good enough for everybody. Embrace it. Know what it is you are called to create in the world. Stand by that with conviction, love, and continue to be curious. Curiosity is the essence of being open and being creative. That is the opposite of judgment. Judgment is narrow. Judgment says black or white, yes or no only. Curiosity invites expansion. Enter into the mystery, into the void. There are so many more possibilities when you approach life like this, and that is the nature of a true artist. The one who's there making assessments and harsh criticisms of anyone's art is really looking at life like this. It has to be this. So hope you found some value in this. I would love to know how you've dealt with this, or if you're struggling with this. And if you've been able to play with it in a way so doesn't feel like it's so personal. Thank you for watching the video. I hope we got the UFO forms, the information out to the world. Thank you for subscribing if you did. We're that much closer to finding out what the hell is going on with these drones. All right. See you guys later.
I'm free.